Hello everybody, this is Frogman. Welcome back to FTB Skies. Last time we did a little bit of goofing around. In the end, we killed the Trigon Ender Dragon one more time and did a little bit of exploration. There is an L in that word. And we found out where we need to be able to at least deal with one of our quest items later on down the line. And oh my goodness, at all the silliness that works here now. I did go ahead and run through some more of our abilities. I found a bunch more stuff that has been slowly accumulating in our inventory, or I should say here. So totem, I believe, cleaned them all out so that we don't have anything laying around other than a couple of other things. No big deal. We're going to need to work towards doing a little bit more of the quests today, and I've already kind of started to plan out some of this stuff. Some of these are pretty nasty, and I'm gonna have to spend some time probably off camera on some of these. This one's not hard. Which one is it? This one I think we're pretty well done, and I'll tell you why in a little bit, because we had to do a few things for this. But there's a couple of ones in here, and for that matter, that one right there, I'm a little concerned about whether or not that's going to work because of the fact that it says unbound, which means I've got to be careful when I get it not to click it, because I'm only ever going to get one of those. So it's going to be something that's going to be kind of a pain. Plus, that's really, really nice little deal here. So, but there's some stuff in this one that we're going to have to spend some serious time working on, because I think everything in here, aside from maybe one or two of these, is going to take some serious time. This one, I've already kind of figured out what we can do here. This is, I think the hardest one again in here is going to likely be that one, maybe just because we haven't started ours yet, and I have no idea, because I've not touched ours since 1.6 probably. So I know there's been a massive amount of changes for that. I've already managed to do this, and I know how we get this. Plus, we've managed to kill this several times. So there's going to be some hard work. I'm going to say that right now. There's going to be some work in this line or two that is going to require a fair amount of time from us to complete. So I think what I want to do today for certain is we're going to get after the liquid DT fuel, and then I'm going to make a silly decision as to whether or not we're going to, can I back out of here please, do this fusion reaction system. I don't honestly believe we need it, and I'm going to say that the reason why we don't need it is because I've already got 1.41 teraflop figs of whatever power in this thing, because of the fact that we're currently producing 2 million FE a second, or ticks, excuse me. So I know I can do that with that reactor. I know I can probably double that number with the reactor, but again, if I want to double this, all I got to do is make 64 of these things. Again, hook them up and go. And again, that's just, 128 diamonds and a bunch of redstone and some rock and, well, this stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Anyhow, in between episodes, I've done a little bit more work. I went ahead and set up a few of the simulation chambers from Hostile Neural Networks, because we had a whole bunch of these data models, and I'm just kind of letting them process. They're just doing what they need to do. So we have the Ender Dragon up, the Enderman, the Wither, which I don't know why I'm doing that. I guess it's just for fun. Blaze model, skeleton for the bones, because we need them for that process over there. Spider, because, well, that's overworldian matter and it's nice, and the witch data model because of the fact we can get some really good stuff from their parts. So I think we are making ender pearls here. Nothing in this one currently. That's going to be for the wither should I feel the need to set this up. And the skeleton, blaze prediction, and the witch prediction. Basically, that's making redstone. This is making blaze rods, I think. And then this one should be making the bones for us, just so that we can keep this system running. I no longer need that. I'm just leaving it over there because it's just something that was kind of sitting there doing some stuff. So, all right. In order for us to get through to the next stage of the game, we need to start looking at this mess right here. So solar neutron activator was something we needed to be able to make plastic for, or at least HDPE sheets. So in between episodes, I went ahead and automated the production of plastic using mechanisms function, which is not impossibly hard to do. It's just another one of those annoying little things. So we take a pressurized reaction chamber, we fill it full of water and hydrogen, which that should be full of hydrogen. Anyhow, which we basically take a pressurized reaction chamber, put some water and some hydrogen and some biofuel into it. So we're taking an electrolytic separator and just doing the thing that you need to do here. This produces the substrate that you need in order to be able to make the plastic. And I did not want to take that out of there. Thank you very much. I don't need it. Anyhow, the substrate, you can use that to either make more of the oxygen, I believe, and more substrate, which you can then do other things with, or you can take that directly into an HDPE pellet, which we're doing just by over here. So this also produces the ethylene, or should produce ethylene as a gas that then needs to be rotary condensated into liquid ethylene that is then mixed with some oxygen and that substrate to turn that into HDPE pellets. So this is one of the more simpler processes. So we're having the applied energetics system create biofuel out of mushrooms because of the fact that we have, where is it? This is automated right here. Because we needed it for other things. So let me see, where is it? Crusher. You get 5 biofuel for 1 brown mushroom, which is not awful. I think that's actually a pretty reasonable thing. And since I already had this set up to be able to do this process, we just left it alone. Now, this is one of those little things over here where if you turn this up and play with it and do a little bit more work, you can make a lot of the ethylene gas, and then you can burn that in a gas burning generator, this dude right here, and make a lot of power. This is one of those good ways of making reasonable amounts of power in mechanism, what I would consider early. And by early, I mean you need to get to steel, and then you can make all kinds of stuff. So in a pack like this is not impossible to do a lot of things very quickly with that. And it's like I said, those things make 100 and some odd thousand RF a tick, which isn't too bad. They're not terrible at all, and they'll just burn off the excess of the ethylene that you're going to end up with. So you will end up with the excess here because of how this process works. So we don't worry about it. That's all I cared about getting. And to be fair, I'm not even going to store any more than that much of it, because in reality, I don't think we're probably going to ever need more than a couple, 3 or 4 stacks of it. So that's perfectly fine. Anyhow, that's what we got done so far. There is a couple of other little things that we will touch on, and this place is a mess. I need to kind of work on it. I did go ahead and kind of somewhat automate the pure infuser from Elemental Craft because we are going to need a lot of these. So since we got the creative element containers for all of the things, I just went ahead and kind of hooked some stuff up. We'll touch on this in a little bit because we have to, if we get there today, make a bunch of these things. We still haven't done those, so we'll have to talk about that when we get there. But again, we'll look at that in a second. Depends on whether or not I can get DT fuel done today or not. We're going to do the entirety of DT fuel up here somewhere today. So let's see what we can do about that little process. So in our mess, DT fuel is going to require a chemical infuser, at least one, and a whole bunch of stuff. So let's see. Put this in there so we know what we're doing. Chemical infuser, tritium in here. Tritium is going to be working with lithium, so we're going to need a few of those. Lithium is going to be rotary condensated from liquid lithium, I believe, made in the thermal evap system. So one of those. That's just one side, and this is the side that is dependent on the sun because of the solar neutron activators. So in order for us to get lithium in a thermal evaporation chamber, we need to make brine, which is then made in another thermal evaporation chamber with some kind of water. Now, we're not going to use the standard thermal evap controller process thingy, thermal evaporation plants. We're going to use resistive heaters to heat them. So we need to start there. So let me, I guess we can kind of start just lining it this direction, and then when we get someplace, we can get it done. So I did go ahead and pre-program a whole bunch of stuff. I hope it's going to be available. Thermal evaporation chambers, so I need thermal evaporation evap blocks. I'm going to go ahead and just tell it we'll just do that. And then we're gonna need input output for both of them. So I think I need like 4 of these, hopefully, and 2 of those. Okay. Again, no rhyme or reason. We're just gonna kind of try to make these things work, and I want to make sure we have plenty of room. So I might just do something fairly simple as like a 4x4 structure. Now you can make them any size you want to. You can, well, any size you want to. They have a limit as far as size is concerned about what they can be, but I'm going to try to just make enough. All we got to do, we're not trying to run a reactor right now. We're not trying to do anything. I just need to try to make this work. So I think we'll start maybe just as a simple little structure, kind of like that, which means I'm going to have to do a little bit more construction. But let's see. I want to put a controller in here. Okay, you're happy. Good. Now we're going to need, well, we're going to need exchange on 2 sides here. Actually, we'll do it like this. Put that there. So I'm going to need a evaporation valve, and you can have your water input back here. Okay. And then we need to build another one of these next to it. All right, so what we're gonna do now with these is we should be able to say, okay, we're happy with this not very warm kind of a thing. So what I want right now is a resistive heater, of which I've already programmed up. So let's go ahead and make, well, we'll just start with 2, because in this mod pack I should be able to put upgrades in those things. And then we need some heat pipe, which I should have made, I thought. Maybe no, these were cheap, right? Oh crap, make a whole bunch of steel, please. Okay, let's give this a whirl. So we should just need a little bit of this. I don't know whether this is going to be enough or not. We're not going to worry about it right now, but that's going to be our resistive thermal heater conductor thingy, whatever you want to call that stuff. And then we take these heaters and we place them right there. Now they're going to grab temperature and, you know, well, I should say they're going to use a little bit of RF and create a little bit of temperature. So I need to go ahead and get them a point going. Some power. You guys gonna make me have to do this the hard way? Hang on, do I have an angle I can get to these things? 1 second. Can I go like that, maybe? There we go. Okay, now we should be able to get to the outside of these, right? Yeah, okay, cool. So essentially all these are gonna do is use RF to make heat. And if we place a little bit of this on here and turn it on, they'll take power and they'll stuff heat into both of these things, which is going to rapidly drag up the temperature, bring the temperature up. So the next thing we want to do is we want to grab us a little bit of a sink and some of this advanced pipe and do this. And that, once you get over here, should start making brine. Now the process here is it'll make this as fast as you can pump it in there and as hot as you can manage to make it. So as these things crank up or get even hotter, I think I can actually set the temperature even higher than I need on that part of it. But if you look at this, it's just going to sit there and continuously build a little bit of brine over certain things. So we can actually crank this up quite a ways if I think. So why don't we do like 200? And just, yeah, go ahead and eat some power. Nice. Okay, so then what we need to do is we need to drag the now brine. Oop, nope, don't do that. Don't do that. Why is this still in my inventory? Thank you very much. Did I lose all that stuff? No. All right. We need to drag the now brine out of there into there. And that'll come in here and start making liquid lithium at a pretty appreciable pace, looks like. I don't think we're going to need it to be that high. Yeah, let's talk that down to like maybe 100, and then we'll do 100 on this one. That way they're not absolutely losing their minds. That's not terrible. Not that I think you'll melt these things down. I don't know if I've ever tried to melt one of them down, but that's a pretty decent pace. And again, if you're looking to make a lot more, just make them taller or make them bigger. These should be big enough for what we need to do for the time being. So let's see. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to see. Need to go sleep and get to the next step. All right, so the next step is we need to take this liquid lithium and turn it into a gas. So we'll bring this forward and we'll use a rotary concentrator thingy the other direction. Does this rotate still work? Thank you. No, I need you to point. Quit. That way. Okay, you need to point that way. Don't wrench, just there. There you go. So then that'll dump into here. See, fluids, clear. Okay, we should be good to go on that part of it. Let's go run a little bit of power over here and see. Wow, I pointed downwards, but that's fine too. Okay. Right, there we go. So now we're rotary concentrating liquid lithium into a gas. Which the next step after that is going to require us to do. How are we doing in here? We're not blowing anything up just yet. 30 millibuckets a tick. 30 millibuckets a tick. That's not awful. I think I can probably live with that. So after that step, we have to take this stuff here and run it through a solar neutron activator to get the tritium. So let's make, well, we're going to make one solar one because I've already got that program. We're going to see how quickly this is going to work and go from there. I actually probably can go ahead and set this up immediately. I don't need the basic thermal stuff anymore. We need, where's my tube? Yay, finally. And then we're gonna run this kind of this direction, I think, maybe, or maybe we run it that way. I'm not really worried about wasting this stuff because, again, this is kind of one of those deals. It's just power and water, so not a big deal. Let's start here. We'll place you on top of that. You are probably more than capable of keeping up with this system just with the way it is. Nice. Okay. Very much more than capable of keeping up with the system. So the bottleneck where is going to be this. So we're making 32, 32, and 32. All right, that's not awful. I think we'll leave that alone for right now. The next step is going to be coming over this direction, and we're going to do something even further on sillier than what we just got done doing. So I need a few building blocks. This is not all that hard, and I think we're probably only going to use, let's see about just using 2 pumps. I don't want this dropper. This is, for those of you that don't know how to get certain things out of inventories that you don't want out of inventory, so like if you accidentally put something in the wrong direction, you take a gauge dropper and you click it over the interface until it removes whatever's in the thing, and then it will go from there. You can also, I think, use the, you might be able to use the empty part in this one as well. I know there's an empty right there which will allow you to click on a thing and dump the stuff, but yeah, sometimes when you accidentally put something the wrong direction, it's a very handy little tool. It's not really all that expensive. I think it's just, what is it, R. Where's my R button? There we go. It's just a piece of osmium and some glass pane. So yeah, again, not terrible. Bucket, we need some water. Okay, and then we need some pumps. So I'm gonna make 2 for now, and then we need filter upgrades. How much of a pain in the butt is that to do? I didn't do it. Crap. Be right back. Alrighty, so pumps. I want to, we're gonna just be careful with these. Place them kind of like so, and then I'm going to rotate them. Actually, no, I think I want them. Where's the power hookup on these things? So like I said, we accidentally filled a few things up here. I can just do that and they'll run their thing out. Can you stop? Stop. Just quit. I know you have power. It's fine. And then essentially what you do there is then you do this and it's gone. So nice. All right. Filter upgrades in these will allow them to find or be able to separate the heavy water from the regular water. And you can stop doing this as well. And then if we turn them back on with the little bit of power that they've got, they'll slowly accumulate power. So I think if I remember correctly, the power is on the other side and their output is on top. So I want to rotate them this way. Okay. And then power can go, no, power's on top. Power's on top? I don't remember where the heck power is. That's pressurized tube. Way to go. Power should be right. Universal cable. Right there. Yeah, right there. Okay, cool. So I'm making this way bigger than it needs to be, apparently. All right, a little bit of mechanical pipe next. Then we take that and we drop it into a... What the heck do we do with heavy water? I think it's an electrolytic separator. Goes into an electrolytic separator that will then make the deuterium and the oxygen. All right, I need to go sleepy and make 2 more machines. Alrighty, that I know. I think we made these way too wide, but that's fine. No big deal. I mean, I guess I can shorten this up later on, and I might just do that once we get there. So, the end of the game is going to be this chemical infuser that we're going to place probably right about here. So we'll do this, and this is going to be the end of the game. This is going to be the end of the thing. So we'll go ahead and put in the pressurized tube with the that. There, so that'll fill that up full of the tritium, and then I want to do the electrolytic separator probably like maybe right there just to make it look cool. And you should be able to force out whatever you do on this side if I tell you to do front face being gases. Gases are on, gases clear. Your output of whichever one it's going to be. Which one is it? Which side are you going to be on? Heavy oil, heavy water. We need that side. So I means I need the dark blue, sure. And then this is going to be dumping forever on that side, which does this to there. And then you do, do that. And that will make the DT fuel. Nice. So what I'm going to do, and I hate to say it, I'm probably going to go ahead and just move this over one since there's no point in it being over here. And we'll add a couple of things in. So give me a second. I mean, what kind of monster doesn't run at least a couple of upgrades in these things, right? Just a couple? Maybe? How are we doing? Nice. So we only need 100 buckets of that, which we way overbuilt this at this point. I way overbuilt this for a reason. If I so decide, we can kind of just take this, tune it and prune it just a little bit more and make it just absolutely make stuff. So the last thing that I'm going to care about right now is the screen that we need to output into the thing. And you can go ahead and get me my task for that. Thank you very much. And then you should be able to output this forward. Is it gotta be liquid DT fuel? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, we need one more rotary condensate that thingy right there. Hang on one second. And a little bit of universal cable, go. Nice. So that appears to be creeping up ever so slowly. Is this one full? No. How are you doing? 30 millibuckets a tick over here. That's a pretty reasonable number, and I think 30 millibuckets a tick would make quite an amazing amount of power. Can I sleep, or is it just raining? Never mind. That's great. So as long as that continues to work through the storm here, that's good. That means I can get away with just running one of those for right now, and we should be able to add in, yeah, I can't add in any kind of updates or upgrades into this one, but again, these things are pretty stinking fast, at least from what I can tell, so that's cool. That'll do the work. That should be right there, and this will slowly over time inject what it needs to do. I can for sure probably speed it up quite a bit. We'd have to add a few more speed up upgrades over here. I might be able to do that reasonably well. It's just going to be one of those things again where you just add in a whole bunch of speed upgrades until you absolutely just, you know, knock the thing out of the park. Right now, I don't really care. We just need to make sure that this thing does as much as it can, and it's actually slow. Get us a couple of those right there. Good. I want the bottleneck to be out here, not and out there, not in the middle. So that looks to be about a bucket a minute, so that'll take a little bit of time. That's not awful. Again, we'll have to kind of just sit here and watch it work, or I'll have to sit here and watch it work in between episodes. I'm going to do one more little quick thing, and then I think we'll call it today. Let's put all that stuff away. We don't need it. I was going to do something else, but we're not quite there yet, and it needs to get a little bit darker. Let's go downstairs. For right now, I want to go show one more little thing that I set up in between episodes, and I need a couple of crystals to do it. So crystal, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 diamond. A single diamond. We have plenty of diamonds now. That's amazing. So one of the next steps that we're going to do in the next episode is we need to be able to craft some fire-tight ingots, or whatever the heck these things are called. These right here. These are not absolutely easy to make because of the fact that they require swift alloy ingots and pure crystals. Swift alloy ingots, as far as we recall, are an elemental binding thing where you have to craft in the elemental binder that is wherever I put it. I think it's that thing right there. You have several different things that you have to use. The special little thing that we were using to mess with this the last time or the time before last, which is kind of some of the reason why I'm using it over here. In that process, you have to craft the pure crystals. Pure crystals. I went ahead and set this up and let it run because even with a reasonably top tier setup and as many pipes as I can shove into one of these things, it still took a long time. When you get ready to do the crafting on this, get them set up because they take a good amount of time. Anyhow, what I did, since we got those creative element containers from several of these ago, where was it? Was it this one? Yeah, this one right here. I plugged it into the system over here so that we could then kind of use a couple of things. So I stuck an element infuser on top of every single one of the element containers so that I could automatically infuse the thing that I needed. And then once the production of the, infused crystal is done, or the elemental crystal is done, it will then pull it using this instrumental output retriever into the particular pedestal that is required of every size. Or side, thing, whatever you want to do. And then what we do in the center here is we toss a diamond in this. So the diamond will immediately get put in there. We have a filter for a pure crystal on an ordered sorter. Just trying to use the mod for what the mod was intended. There is no real reason to make these when a hopper does the work. But essentially, all we do at this point is we go 1, 2, 3, and we'll watch the last one, 4. It will drop it down onto the infuser. The infuser will infuse the crystal. Crystal is then put up there because of that. And then this sits there and takes its ever-loving sweet time to produce the pure crystal that's in this box. Now, these are amazing when it comes to working with these. So I couldn't imagine trying to make a lot of these without some kind of massive amount of elemental whatever the heck it is production. So those things are okay. The little that whole deal over there is all right. I know there are better collectors that are the extractors than these, but yeah, it's that still is a very, very long process that takes a very, very long time. So I think at the end of, or the beginning of next episode, we will go ahead and turn in that quest, which should be getting, we're 25 buckets at this point. I need to go take a nap now that we can take a nap. At the beginning of next episode, we will go ahead and turn that quest in. It probably will be done fairly shortly. We'll go ahead and craft up all of this stuff, and then we'll start working on this line, which means we get to play with this thing. It has been a long time. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.